we are also the mental being and the emotional being. And when you play too much with your Nabhi chakra, you have the biggest problem, and that is that you can never be successful in life as far as enjoyment is concerned of your achievements. For example, a person becomes rich, unduly rich he becomes, is a blessing, I should say, of Nabhi chakra on the right hand side. Right hand side Nabhi chakra can give you a lot of wealth, a lot of money, and you'll have 10 cars and 15 people attending to you, everything you may have. But it cannot give you the satisfaction of life. You will go on accumulating and end up with a suicide or something like that, and you would not know why you are bent upon committing suicide. That's why in all affluent countries you find people are planning to commit suicide, and the more affluent they are, the worse it is. But the left side gets completely dried. Now the left side is the center of the family life, the Graha Lakshmi, the goddess of the family, the household. You see, a person who runs after money too much forgets his family. He has no time for his family. The husband and wife may meet somewhere on the airport, or may just wave at each other sometimes, you see, crossing each other, or the children suffer the most. And in that case, the women also then take up with the men, they compete, what's wrong? They start copying men, and in doing so, when they compete with each other, then what happens? That this family life gets disturbed. The woman of the household is dissatisfied, her ego is not satisfied. In olden times, the man used to go in the jungle and get all the wood cut, bring it home, and give it to the wife, and wife used to cook. There was no problem because there was barter system. He could see her working in the household. Now the husband earns the money and the woman spends. I mean, that also requires some work, isn't it, to spend the money. But to man it looks like that I'm the earning member and she's the spender. So she says, all right, I will also earn. But in this too much of competition like this between the two, what happens? The family suffers, the children suffer, and such a person will have problem with the wife will have problem with the husband, and you can always feel that center on this finger. If that finger is catching, that means there's something wrong with your family relationship, that you have to adjust yourself, and he has to adjust. It's an important thing, because you are like the flowers which have to produce a fruit. That's what nature wants. Nature wants that you are there to produce the fruit, that is your children. That's why you are men and women. That's the basics. Now, if you think that with that responsibility, if you can do something else, you should do. But the main thing is that, and if you don't do that, is to look after your children, to give them joy, have a beautiful nest for them, then I must say that you are neglecting your basic duty and your attention on something else. That's why so many divorces are taking place and problems are there. Then women ask for their rights, they go beyond their limits, they became dominating here, the men become dominating. That's not the way we are going to solve. We have to know that we are two wheels of one chariot. One on the left, another in the right. Now they are not similar. They are two types, one left side, one on the right side. But they are equal. Whatever they do, it's equal. They are to be respected equally in the same manner. And it is always so. For example, I had a girl who came to me, and she was a private secretary. And she told me, Mother, you say this, but I've seen that all these men come and flirt with their private secretaries. So I said, all right, maybe so. But what does that matter? You see, that shows that something wrong with the man. He doesn't understand. He's off his head. He cannot enjoy his wife and he's running after other things. It's like having something in your house and you are looking at other things, you see. Like in India, if you go to somebody comes to your house, be careful about your things. But in England, I tell them, if somebody comes to your house, be careful about your wife. See, it's just a little difference between, but the second one is a dangerous thing because fundamentally, the wife is the fundamental thing, because you do not know what she will do, how she will react, and you do not know how the guest, because that is regarded as their freedom. But if you take away something from somebody's house, that's not freedom, because we can take away anything from somebody's house. Why should anybody arrest us? Because there is a free will for you to do what you like, is allowed to do what you like, but in that free will you are harming so many people and ultimately your society. Now these two wills, as I said, are very important to God, because so many great people want to take birth on this earth. So many great souls want to take birth on this earth. And if we behave in such a manner that all the time this chariot is this way going up or that way going up, I can tell you no child would be willing to be born in this place who are great people. Only the people who are of the worst type will be born. There will be hooligans, there will be horrible people with a horrid nature, and they will spoil the whole atmosphere of the countries where husband and wife do not have good relationship. The children will be such hooligans and such horrible things that will be surprised that at the age of 8 years and 5 years they will be committing murders and doing all kinds of such things that will be shocked. Now between you and me, because you are also husbands and wife, and one thing it should be there, that we should not quarrel before our children. We should have all decency of husband and wife. There are so many things we do not do in the presence of our children. In the same way, we need not sit down and quarrel and say, I hate you and I hate you. I tell you, this is something you have to change a little bit in our language. In India, if somebody says, I hate you, it's regarded, that man regarded as the most unmannerly person. I mean, it's very bad manners to say, I hate you. How? I mean, it shows that you are a very low type of a person to say like that. But I hate you, so what? If you hate, so what? You are not God. If you hate me, what does it matter? Actually, if somebody hates someone, so what? That shows that person is not a good person, just to hate someone. I hate you is a way of expressing something that is, I feel, is very wrong for the family system. It shocks children. Children look upon you as ideals. When they are born, you should see them. Most of the children nowadays in Australia are born realized. I see them around when I went to the airport, and I see they are born realized. And they watch, and they're surprised, and they sulk, and they feel very sad. They don't take sides. They don't like the father to fight the mother to fight. And one other thing which you must understand, that a certain gradation has to be there. A woman is the strongest point of the household, like this Mother Earth is. She takes all the problems upon herself. Because she is the strongest. Who else can withstand this kind of weight on her? It's the mother. In the same way, a woman in the house is the mother, and she has to bear up. You see, it's nice to have a husband who comes home and says whatever he likes and takes out all the filth on you, than to have a husband who is very sweet, hello, hello, and outside he goes like a bumptious tiger on everyone. Such a man you see, they are like children, I would say. They are like children. They have to take out their tensions on their wives only. And you should be an absorber of that. And that's the sign of a woman. A strong woman doesn't get easily disturbed by these things. She's not bothered. She says, all right, you little baby, come along. Now I have had 4 babies, now this is the 5th one, which is the smallest has come. Let him shout and scream. Even with the children, you have to be patient. They'll hit you, they'll do anything. I would say that way in India, children are treated very kindly, and there are special things. They will do what they like when they are children. But when they grow up, we do not have teenage problem. We do not have problem when the children don't respect. This is a very important aspect of our modern life that we have to understand. What is the relationship of husband and wife is? Husband is like, say, a gentleman who is definitely is to be respected by the wife. But if she does not respect the husband, she cannot get respect for her children. But the husband has to be a respectable man. That's very important. If the man is not respectable, he cannot be respected easily. But the more is the woman has to be very respectable. If she doesn't give her respect, you can handle any kind of man if you are clever enough. Drunkards, all sorts, they come down. Because after all, they are human beings. They are not bad people. But because of mishandling, they just get out. And the domination of men is just a myth. See, they cannot dominate. They are incapable of domination. They just do it because they want to feel that they are superior. That's all. But they cannot dominate. Whatever the domination, what is their domination? It's little things here and there. Just like children. That's what it is. If women understand their maturity and their responsibility as women, because they are the Shakti, they are the power of the family, and they are the potent Shakti for the husband as well as for the children.